Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm sitting here in my backyard listening to the birds. Rain night, so it smells really good. I'm going to wait just a few minutes until I see some folks hop on, and then I'll go ahead and get started. Feel free to jump in on the comments, tell me who you are, where you're screening in from, what you're excited about. It's Friday, woot woot. Weekend's coming up. I'm sure everyone's excited to get outside. I'm so happy that it's cooled down. We've got some trees flowering back here that are really beautiful. So yeah, feel free to write a comment, tell me who's watching, tell me your name, where you're screening in from. We've had people jump into our Facebook Lives from all over, which has been really exciting for this week. So I'll probably get started right around 10:03. Oh, hello, Stacy from Virginia, Texas. Oh, this is so exciting for me. It's so good to see you all. Hey, Mackenzie, woot woot. This makes me feel so happy. I love connecting Girl Scouts from all over the country. It's really, really special for me. We got someone from Pennsylvania. Good morning. Hi, Brooke. So hopefully you're sitting outside. I mentioned I'm listening to the birds chirp. We've got trees that are flowering back here. My whole backyard has these fun little yellow flowers. It's really nice. For those who don't know me, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Marissa. I am the Program and Partnerships Team Leader. Hi, Michelle from Puerto Rico. So my name is Marissa. I'm the Program and Partnerships Team Leader for Girl Scouts of Western Ohio. I work out of the Cincinnati office. So I live in a neighborhood called Northside, so it's pretty close to the city, but what I love so much about my home, we moved in here over the summer. I love that we've got these really beautiful mature trees in the backyard. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my inspiration for art, and then we're going to do a fun little demo today, and I'll kind of share about the different badge steps and what we'll be completing today, and then give you some suggestions for how you can complete the rest of this independently. So seeing a lot of people hop on. It's great to see you all. See some people from Florida, California, Rhode Island. This is amazing. Pennsylvania, Grace from Indiana. Good to see all of you. This is so fun for me. We're connecting Girl Scouts all over the place. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks for hopping on. Feel free to ask questions as we go along. So today we are working on the Junior Outdoor Art Explorer badge. Any badge related to art has a special place in my heart. So I'm going to talk a little bit, it's always weird identifying as an artist. I don't know if I identify as an artist, so as a creative or as a maker. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about where I get my inspiration from. I'm going to show you some of my art. Hopefully you like it. And then we're going to jump right into one of the badge steps. So with the badge today, the point of this badge is to how to find art in nature and create your own outdoor artwork. And what I'm here to tell you is the world is art. That's really how I view it. I look at trees, I look at flowers, I look at the beautiful homes in my neighborhood, and I just see art all around me. And I think your world will open up when you see the world as art around you as well. When you listen to the birds chirping and the leaves blowing, the world is just such a beautiful place. And I hope all of you are outside right now, maybe watching this from your backyard, enjoying it. For the first step we're going to do is talk to an artist. So I'm a jack of many trades, but art is something I do to relax, especially with the crazy times we're living in right now. It's really important to take that time and slow down. And for me, something that helps me relax is to create something out of nothing. That really brings me peace. Drawing is something that really centers me. When I'm drawing, I'm not thinking about anything else. It's easy to get caught up in all of the crazy things that are happening in the world these days, but when I'm drawing, I'm in one place, and that's with my piece of art. So Brooke says she loves using paint. I also love using paint. We're going to do an acrylic paint project today. So the main style of art I do, as I said, I love to draw. I really love using pen. I love the thickness of it, the darkness of it. I love the detail I can get with a really fine tip pen. But I also love watercolor. I love the contrast of pen against watercolor. Pen is a really, the way I use it is very tight, very finite, very detailed, and watercolor is very free. So when you combine both of them together, you get this really interesting blend, this really interesting mix. So the pieces of art I'm going to show you is kind of my voice, my style, mixing really tight, detailed pen with really flowy, free watercolor. And then we're going to do a different kind of project with acrylic paint. So I'll show you a few different things that I do. Again, I love playing, I love making. It's kind of fun just to experiment and try different things. So something fun that's created from nature are my earrings. So these are just wooden rounds with holes drilled into them. I've wrapped them in wire and then painted them. So I used to do a ton of craft shows, and these were a fan favorite. I love to wear them. It's a really fun, earthy accessory to wear. So I do make jewelry sometimes. That's not my necessarily go-to, but when I was doing craft fairs, jewelry was kind of a fun little add-on. As some of you may have seen in the event description, this is my favorite form of meditation. It's painting rocks. This is what I'm going to be demoing today. So this is really peaceful for me. It's really kind of form of meditation. I'm trying to figure out how to make this reflect straight in the camera. So I love to paint rocks. I love to go outside. I love to hike, to find smooth stones. If you live by like a lake or a creek, you can often find really nice smooth rocks. So I'm going to be kind of giving a demo on how to create these today. And again, we're creating art with nature, which is really special. And then before we do this, I am going to just show you some of my art so you can get a feel. For step one, it's to talk to an artist who's inspired by nature. As I said, I'm a creator than an artist, but I'll go, we'll run with it, okay? So in terms of how I'm inspired by nature, I love color. I love the natural colors that are found in nature. I love exaggerating natural colors. And for me, I love trees, but really what I'm inspired by is animals. If you've seen any of my other Facebook Lives, earlier this week, I have a zoo inside my house. I love being around animals. And so, oh, Brooke wrote, art helps me calm down. It is my own little world. Yes, Brooke. Yes, that's exactly how I feel. You kind of just go into your own little bubble and find peace of mind. I totally agree with you. So, okay, I'm inspired by animals, so I'm going to show you a few different pieces I have, and if you've got any questions about them, feel free to jump in. So, as I said, I'm really inspired by animals and wildlife, so I'm just going to show a few different pieces here. This is a zebra with a field of lotus flowers. Again, you can kind of see the contrast of really tight pen with really fun, colorful watercolor. This is a little bit more simple, but it's a seahorse. Again, I love the softness of the watercolor in this one. It's really smooth with the tightness and the detail of the pen. And I'll just kind of go through and show you a few different ones. Someone asked what I do to paint the rocks. It's acrylic paint. Someone wrote, I'm mostly calmed when I'm outside and I close my eyes and smell the scent of nature. Yes, I love that. Again, it rained here last night. I know some folks are saying it's raining, and I'm hoping it doesn't rain while I'm out here, but I feel really calm right now. The trees are blowing. I'm seeing the leaves go. Like, I can hear birds chirping. Really, really peaceful here back. This is another piece. I really love this one. It's really fun. I'm sorry. It's kind of windy. So it's an elephant on an island with mushrooms and the sun. Again, really playful, really colorful. I love just kind of playing around with nature elements. For those who are on lives earlier this week, I have a pet iguana. She's the light of my life. So this is a painting I did of her when she was a little bit younger. Zen vibes, because iguanas are just the most chill. They're the most chill pet. I've got just a few more to show you. Feel free if you've got any questions about the art. Okay, for my Cincinnati friends who are on, I know a lot of you may have seen this already, but we've got at our Cincinnati Zoo Botanical Garden, for those who aren't from here, you may have seen viral videos of Fiona. She was a hippo that was born premature, and the Cincinnati Zoo nurtured her back to full health. Um, and so I don't know why I decided to paint this, but I thought it was really funny. So I painted Fiona being abducted by aliens because Cincinnati would have just lost our minds if we lost our sweet Fiona. Or you could look at it the other way, and Fiona is a gift being given to us from the aliens. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. This one's one of my personal favorites. My mom and dad are huge bird watchers. They're also very earthy parents. They're very inspired by nature. My mom, her favorite bird is an owl. And so I feel very connected to owls because it makes me feel connected to my mom. My mom lives in Chicago. I live in Cincinnati. So, anything I can do to feel more connected, with your family. Family is really important to me. So, this is a great horned owl. This one doesn't really have pen in it, but it is done with watercolor and a thicker pen. And again, it just makes me feel connected with my family doing things like that. And then I've got just two more to show you. So I've shown a lot of animals. Again, I love fruits and veggies. This is a really fun, detailed pineapple that I've done with the waves of the ocean. Again, I just really find inspiration in nature and shapes and things like that. I'll get up close. This one has a lot of fun, funky detail in there. And as you've seen from all my art, I just love color. Color is a huge inspiration to me. Again, makes me just feel really connected with the world around me. And then this is the last, this was a friend asked me to do this for him. This is kind of a funky one. It's a bunch of jellyfish. So jellyfish floating in the sea. I'll get up close again so you can see some detail here. Yeah, so I've talked a bit about my inspiration from nature. I'll talk about the steps that we aren't going to complete. Thanks to everyone who's giving me compliments. That's really sweet. Again, at one point I did create art to sell and do it for shows, but really, what's special about it is it can just be for you. I think it's special when you're just making it for yourself sometimes. And I think what can get challenging is when people do love your art and you want to sell it or you want to give it away. It's kind of like giving a piece of yourself away. And so I think for me at this point in my life, it's something nice just to do for me, to relax and to meditate and to be calm. So I'll see if there's any questions. I love the jelly. Thank you. Thank you. And again, so the other badge steps that we won't be completing that I'll give you some ideas for. We're doing step one. So you talk to an artist who's inspired by nature. That's me. And then we're going to design with nature. I'm going to do a demo on the painted rocks. And the steps that we aren't completely completing are 2, 3, and 4. So for step 2 is make something. So you can make something wearable. That's why I wore these earrings as an example. You can make something out of nature. You could wrap a stone as a pendant. You could make your own wooden earrings. There's so much that you can do. I'm even like these are natural stones. As a bracelet, that's a pretty easy project you could do. Or you could make something with wood. Again, these are made with wood, but you could always carve something for your house with decor, or make an impression. So it's pretty easy to make salt dough. You can make that at your house using like flour, salt, and water. And then you could go outside and find unique things in nature and press them into the dough to make salt impressions. Or you could do something as simple as like leaf rubbings at home. Go outside. There's a lot of cool leaves on the ground now with the transition of season. So you could go collect different leaves and make a collage of different leaf rubbings. For finding music in nature, I mean, I'm finding music right now. I don't know if you can hear it with the computer, but I'm hearing the birds chirping, the wind blowing through the leaves and the branches. To me, that is music, but you can pick up stones and collect them together, or sticks and collect them together and make your own beat and rhythm using things outside. Create nature symphony using things that are all around you. Make rainy day music. So find the rhythm in rain and maybe create a song that sounds good with the rain. There's so much that you just go sing a Girl Scout song outside. Have fun with it. I think what's really special and strange about the situation that we're in as a country and as a world right now is, with social solidarity and distancing, the outdoors is not off limits. You can go outside, go on a hike, go to a park. You can still connect with the world around you, even with being apart from other people. So, um, yeah. Okay, step 4, be a photographer. Um, so you can play with light, you can explore structures. I know there's a lot of really unique parks that have really cool outdoor art sculptures. So as I said, I live in Northside Cincinnati. We actually have the second largest cemetery in the country. It's Spring Grove Cemetery. And maybe comment if you've been there before. It's really, really cool. And maybe it's strange to some people. I love to just go and walk around the cemetery. It's kind of like a really big park, and it's really old. So there are, tombstones from the 1800s and things like that. It's really unique. And so I often will go there to find inspiration from some of the different mausoleums and buildings that are in that cemetery. It's really beautiful. And there's also really big ponds in there. They have swans, and I often see deer walking through there. So I go there and I find peace and I find art. So maybe kind of a bizarre place you wouldn't think to do, to go to a cemetery and walk around, but you'd be surprised at some of the things that you can see on different tombstones. But go where it makes you find peace. I'm not telling you to go to a cemetery if you don't want to go there. That's just what's in my neighborhood, so I like to walk through there. So step 4 is be a nature photographer, so you can play with light, or go big and small. Again, some people have community gardens and make really beautiful things to go in there. And then there's murals in bigger cities. So there's a lot of different things you can look for and come up with your own designs for your community, and your neighborhood or your city. The world's at your fingertips. You can do whatever. Okay, so I've kind of covered the middle 3 steps that we won't necessarily be completing together, but you can definitely do independently. I really encourage you to get outside this weekend, guys. It's Friday. Don't feel like you have to be trapped inside your home. Go on a walk in your neighborhood. Get inspired by the world around you. Do not stay inside. I want everyone, after this video is recorded, comment and tell me something that you are doing outside. Oh, Angie Brown, I like to draw my pet lizard. Okay, you're my new favorite person. I also have a pet lizard, and it looks like Grace wrote that from Angie. I love that. Yeah, I think animals are super inspiring. I'm very inspired by my animals. I also have 2 pet cats. I think during this social solidarity time, I may just become obsessed with them and just start painting them every day. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, so hopefully, you've had a chance to learn something new. I know I recommended everyone to go and get a rock for the demo today. If you don't have one, that's okay. I'm going to just kind of demo for you how to do a painted rock. But, just because I'm showing you one way to do it, you don't have to do it that way. Do it any way that inspires you. Draw zigzags on it. Write your name on it. I think what's really fun and special about painting rocks, and I know a lot of you have probably done this as Girl Scouts, but kindness stones. So you can go leave them around different communities, leave them somewhere special for other people to find. And especially given the time that we're in right now, I thought this could be a really fun project because you could go leave it somewhere in your neighborhood and someone can go on a walk and find your beautiful little piece of art and pick it up and feel more connected with the community around them. So that's just a little suggestion for you to do. You don't have to do it. I have found kindness stones before, and they have really, and something that you do is, you can keep one and then pass it, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to show a couple different stages of creation with this, and then I'm going to just do a demo on how to do, if you like the style of the mandala. I do a lot of mandala work. Mandala is essentially a symmetrical circle starting out and flaring out from the center. That's really just a meditative practice for me. It's very calming. It's very centering. But again, do whatever you like. I'm going to show you this one style. You don't have to do this. You can do whatever you want because that's the beauty of art. It's whatever you want it to be. So for those of you who have found stones, this is just a stone. I love to go hiking. I love to go to different lakes and ponds and look for smooth stones. I have tons of awesome friends who will bring me stones that they find because they're awesome. So this is what a stone could look like. You might want to clean it first, depending on, where you got it from. I'm not going to paint this one because I'm going to paint one that already has a background just to show you guys. But this is what they look like before you paint them. So like before, after. Yeah, you can do this. You can do that. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so this is stage one. Go outside, find an awesome rock to paint. It doesn't have to be a rock. I mean, you could find a piece of wood or something like that. You could paint a leaf. I've painted leaves before. That too. You can do whatever you want. So this is what they look like when you first find them. And then this is just, I'm going to show you my way. You don't have to do it. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just going to show you how I get to my final result of this. So you start with a plain rock, and then you paint the background of the rock. Pick a color. I typically, depending on what it is, think about, what color dots you want to do. I tend to go a little bit darker on the background because I love to do really vibrant, fun dots. So I painted these two because I wasn't sure what I would be feeling for today. And I think I am going to go with the black one just because I can show probably more contrast through the grainy laptop video. So we're going to do the black one today. And I'm also going to show a couple different stages to get to the final product. So I also have this for you so you can kind of see this is a black background and this is the first layer of dots. So just to give an example, this has multiple layers of dots on it, so it's like dots on dots on dots on dots. I wanted to show you a rock that was in the in-between phase, like this one, just so you can get a feel. So it's a progress. It takes time. I'm pretty impatient, and I don't necessarily wait for paint to dry just because I love to get to the finished product over here. But sometimes you do need to let it dry if you want to do a lot of detail and add that at the end. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through. I know there's a lot of comments happening. I'm going to see if I can answer them. Oh, someone asked, what's step 5? So step 5 is designing with nature, which is what we're going to do. Someone has done kindness stones. That makes me really happy. Okay, so I'm going to start with a demo. So really what you need for this, I'm a pretty cheap artist. Paper plate. I don't have a fancy palette or anything like that. I use a mug for a cup of water and then just like paper towels. It's really hard filming yourself and your arms are moving opposite of where they're moving. Okay, paint brushes. So I use this thicker one to paint the backgrounds. I'm actually not going to use this one today. And then I use a really fine tipped one to do the dot work. Really fine tip. So in terms of colors, does anyone have a preference on what colors I use? Comment below. Remember, I'm using this black background so I can really do whatever. Shoot me a comment and tell me what color. First one I see is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to wait. Sarah Russ asked, what's step 3? Step 3 is find music and nature. All right. Someone tell me what color to do. I'm gonna wait until I see someone write, or I'm gonna reach for my paint bucket and I'm gonna pick one. I may pick brown. I'm gonna go out and use brown. Green. All right, Girl Scout green. Yay! Thank you so much, Katie. Okay, so someone wrote rainbow, yellow. Okay, so let's do green and yellow. So I've got green. I usually love to do. I'll pick one color, make like the theme, and then I'll mix it with white or black to make it get lighter or darker. So I'm going to start with green. I'm just going to hang out with me for a minute while I just squirt paint on my palette. So I'm going to put green in a few different places. Hopefully everyone can see okay. And I'm doing this so I can create a few different colors of green. I am going to get to your yellow, don't worry. And I'm going to mix the green and the yellow, some really fun teal in there. So I am using a lot of paint, but I just want to show you what different colors can look like. So I've got a couple different kinds of yellow. I've got this lighter yellow, and then I've got a richer yellow. I am just using acrylic paints, okay? So I usually honestly just use from Amazon because they come to my house very quickly. So I'm just gonna kind of boop bop. I'm gonna just do like little drops of yellow and see what happens. It's all about experimenting. I don't really have a plan in mind. I kind of play. So this is the richer yellow. Hopefully you all can see that okay with the video. And yeah, I'm just gonna like drop some of that into the green. I might just do like a little drop in one. Might mix some of the light yellow and the dark yellow together. And you know what? I feel like I'm gonna want one other color, and I'm gonna go with pink, because I think pink could be really pretty with the green yellow. Like, I'm like thinking spring vibes, guys. Spring vibes today. I just love to kind of mix some colors together. And you know what? I'm probably, if I'm going with spring, I'm gonna do just like a fun little pop of bright blue. Because blue makes me think of rain, and it's been rainy here. And I'm gonna just kind of add some white. Again, there's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm literally just kind of playing around. I always love to have a big loop of white on my palette to lighten up things as I go along. So I am gonna use my thicker brush that I showed you before to mix paints together. So, and again, just do what feels right. You know, there's no right or wrong way to do what we're doing today. I often don't even like rinse my brush between mixing paint, because it's kind of fun just to see what happens when you swirl it all together. So right now I'm mixing some of the darker green and the yellow, and I'm getting this really earthy Girl Scout green, actually, like a really nice Kelly green. Love to see that. Now I'm mixing the green and the lighter yellow. Let's see what happens with that. That's nice. It's not as different as I thought it would be, but that's okay. And then this one's still gonna be a nice rich dark green. And then I'm gonna mix this blue and white. Kept the green in there because I'm hoping it might make it a little bit more of a teal or a softer blue gray with the green. And that's looking really good. I like that. I am going to wipe off my brush when I get into this yellow and pink, because I don't want to get blue in there. It might make it look a little weird. But yellow and pink together might make kind of like an orangey coral color. Kind of excited to see what happens when I do that. Yeah, that's nice. Definitely created a fun like little soft orange. Love that. And then I'm just going to mix this yellow, soft yellow and yellow together with some of that orange. It looks pretty good. All right, so I've got a really fun palette I'm going to be working with. I'm going to play around for a second. I'm hoping everyone can see. I might just lift this up for a second just so I can see. It looks like there's a lot of comments. Hi, everyone. I just want to make sure I'm oh, okay, lots of colors. Everyone's excited. Yellow, green, turquoise. Okay, so I've got a lot of colors. I know someone wanted blue, so let me just do a little bit more of regular blue, and then it'll be kind of like a pastel rainbow for spring. I hope that sounds good to everyone. Okay, just making sure. Someone asked if you just joined, what am I making? We're gonna do painted stones. So, oops, I've already painted the background of this stone. We're gonna start with a black background, and then I'm gonna just do a little painting demo. Yes, I get my paint from Amazon. Okay, so these are the colors I've chosen. There's a million colors in the rainbow. I'm sorry if I didn't get to the one that you wanted, but hey, go home and paint something and make it beautiful and use your favorite color. So I want to figure out where I can do this so you all can see it. I hope that works for you guys. It's kind of hard because I'm using the laptop, so just bear with me. I'm going to try to angle it so you guys can see it. Really the trick with doing a mandala stone is just, take your time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And the thin brush, that's key. And getting a big glob of paint so that you can make a really nice dot, okay? So, again, I'm not going in any rhyme or reason with these colors. I literally just go with what speaks to me. I'm sorry, I'm going to shuffle some things around just so I can get situated over here. So, I like to hold my rock in place. Sometimes, for my coffee drinkers, if I have any leaders watching, don't drink coffee before you do this, because I usually have such shaky hands. So usually I'm like, ah! So I usually paint at night. I'm not necessarily, not necessarily a morning painter, so this is new for me. So I get a nice big glob of paint. I'm starting with yellow like the sun. And I'm going to do a big glop of paint in the middle for a nice big center circle. And the trick for me, again, I don't necessarily wipe off my brush in water as I move around the rock, but I will wipe it off with paper towel so I can switch colors. So I started with that really nice bright yellow, and I'm just gonna kind of bounce around here. I always think of flowers when I'm painting the mandala stones because, oh no, and sometimes this happens and I get a glop of paint that's a lot bigger than I wanted. But then, hey, when that happens, then I'm gonna adjust and I'm gonna go bigger to try and match the other side. So you're gonna see me make mistakes. The beautiful thing is, at the end of the stone, you're the only one who can see your mistakes. You can go back and fix everything. What's nice about using the black background is you can see I'd put too much paint on, and so these two dots have glopped together. So when this dries, I'll go back and I'll use a little bit of black paint to go over that and fix it. Again, no big deal. It doesn't need to be perfect. Don't get upset if you make a mistake. That's life. We make mistakes, we adjust, we move on. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to do a couple more dots in there. I'm making these ones just a little bit smaller because I don't have as much space to work with between these two bigger ones, and that's cool. And it's all about just staying symmetrical. So symmetrical just means it's like a mirror image, right? So whatever you do on top, you do on bottom, and you do the same thing from side to side. So I'm just going to kind of bounce around. I wish I had some music playing right now, but I am listening to the birds, and that's really peaceful and nice. And I'm just going to kind of work my way around and just do what feels good. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do what we're doing today. I do think, oh, and now I've got my paintings blowing away. What's nice about the black background is all of the colors are really, really vibrant, really rich. I love rich colors. I hope you all the birds right now. It's really nice and peaceful. And again, if your circles aren't perfect, that's okay. Why? Because it's probably nearly impossible to make a perfect circle. I think we all know that, but you know, I used to be a perfectionist when I was little, and then over life and time, sometimes you just need to let that go because it's kind of hard to go through life like that, you know? If I spent so much time trying to make all these perfect circles, I would literally become a crazy person. Nobody's got time to be a crazy person, you know? So I hope you're painting with me right now, and if not, I hope you're painting later, bring you some joy. And again, if you make a mistake, you can go back and fix it later. Honestly, when you do a lot of detail like this, the only person in the end who can see that mistake is you. Everyone will be so amazed with the beautiful thing that you've just created out of nature. I'm just going to kind of shuffle around so that this is getting easier for me so I can move along with it. So I'm kind of finishing up on my first layer here. Sometimes I like to leave space at the end because depending on the mood I'm in, I'll like to draw like lines going down, or you could do squiggles, like something that feels kind of playful. So I'll probably do like, you know, maybe one or two more rows of the circles, and then I'm going to go back in and start adding some detail. And as I'm working here, I'm just really craving some orange. Orange is my favorite color. No one said orange. It's just so bright and warm, so I know I'm going to want to add that later. So I'm just pulling that out. Pulling that out for later. Feeling really peaceful. I'm really glad I get to spend my Friday morning hanging out with Girl Scouts, and maybe not Girl Scouts. If you're not a Girl Scout, welcome. We are working on the Junior Outdoor Art Explorer badge. We're doing step 5, Design with Nature. We're having a great time. I'm having a great Friday morning. Can I start every morning like this? I'm not a morning person though, as I mentioned. I typically do paint at night. It helps me relax before bed. I'm a zombie in the morning. All right, that's looking really pretty. I hope you guys like how it's looking with the colors you suggested. I'm gonna do, like I said, I think I'm gonna try to do maybe one or two more rounds, and then I'm gonna start going back and adding in some more really fun detail. Really loving how it's feeling like spring. I love those like pastel colors. It's making me smile. It's kind of gray here today, but the flowers are coming out. It rained last night for my Cincinnati friends. Hopefully everyone didn't panic too much during that tornado warning we had. As if we don't need more, right? We don't need more. All right, finishing up our last row here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep it tilted towards you all while still looking, and my hands are shaking a little bit because, as I mentioned, I did have coffee today. So, pro tip, if you are a parent or guardian watching, don't drink coffee before you paint rocks. All right. So I'm thinking this looks really nice. I think I might stop there because I know I'm gonna get kind of nutty and add more detail later. So this is what it looks like. I hope I'm gonna try to show some of the comments. Oh, thanks for sharing. Yeah, let me know what colors you're using. I would hear what you're doing. Comment with a picture when you're done. I would love to see that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. So this is what it looks like for the first layer. As you can see, I mean, I am a little disappointed that I had a little mess up here. I might try and just like get off a little bit of that paint because I obviously used too much, but really I'm not going to worry about it too much. Beautiful thing. Remember what color you used for the background. I'm going to go back and paint over that with black later instead of letting it upset me because I'm not going to think about that too much. So really the trick with making a mandala stone look really unique and special is just layers and layers of dots. It looks really psychedelic. It's really fun and funky. So I love to do like 2 to 3 layers of dots. So I'll kind of just show you my process, and I'm just going to kind of go in and just start adding more dots on top of things and playing around. And again, it's all about having fun, you know? So here we go. I can't wait to see what all of you awesome people are making. And it's fun to try and see how small of a dot you can make. That's kind of a little contest I do with myself. Like, how small can I go with a dot? We'll see. Again, nice thing with going with a dark background is that your details will show up better, which is why I thought black would be good for the demo today. And again, I'm probably going to make a few mistakes. It's all good. It happens. Okay, let's see. I love the yellow and pink together. It's kind of fun. So I'm gonna now go over again. My paint's not dry yet. I will say this will work better if you let your paint dry, but I'm an impatient artist, so alas. And as you can see, my center is really starting to bleed now. Again, I'm gonna let that go. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna fix it later. It's still gonna be beautiful in the end. Such is life. And I'm gonna kind of just work my way around, working in circles. You can do it, I mean, you don't have to work in a circle. For me, that's just how it helps me keep my place, if, instead of like moving around randomly. But again, do whatever you want to do. This is your art project. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing. If I did not move in a circle, I would absolutely forget my pattern that I'm working on, though. I'm a little bit of a scatterbrain, so this helps keep me in focus. Casey Ranella, if you're watching, this rock is for you. I know I owe you a second one. I'm such a slacker. So if you're watching, this is going to be your second rock, and I promise you I'm going to fix the middle, and it's going to be beautiful, and you're going to love it. As I mentioned, orange is my favorite color, so I'm definitely going to have to get in here with some orange here in a minute. It's saying it needs orange. Sometimes you just got to listen to the rock. The rock will tell you what color it needs. Right now, my rock's telling me I want orange. But I love orange. I put orange on everything, so. All right. Let's see. Where does the orange want to go? Orange and blue are complementary colors, so it could be kind of fun. Complementary means they sit opposite each other on the color wheel. So sometimes it's really fun to kind of play off of that. Analogous colors means they're side by side on the color wheel. So that's something to kind of keep in mind too if you want to be more intentional. Obviously with what I'm doing today, I'm really just playing around, but sometimes you can be more intentional and maybe you want to make something that's complementary colors or analogous colors. And that can have a really unique effect when you're being really intentional about your color choices. Typically, I just go with the mood I'm in. I just go with whatever is speaking to me in the moment. But again, do whatever you feel. The two rocks I showed you earlier are super detailed, and I would make this one that detailed, but I will have to let the paint dry. So I'm going to do as much as I can. Probably will wrap up in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. But I'll definitely post a picture in the events later. And now I'm been talking so much, and I'm definitely have just lost my place. Okay. But yeah, I'll post a picture of what the rock looks like later and show you all what it looks like totally complete. So you can see we're getting really fun colors here. I really like what's happening. Really bright, really bright. It's really nice. Again, I love orange. Orange is so warm and earthy. All right. So apart from my center, which I mentioned, if you're just joining now, I did make a little oopsie on that. It happens. I'm not worried. I'm gonna fix it. Lots of fun colors happening. I did make a commitment to use more green, so I definitely am gonna get in here with some more green momentarily. I just need to figure out where I want to put it. Let's see. Might put it on top of the pink on the outside and go for kind of like a watermelon. Pink and green always make me think of watermelon. It's getting a little windy out here, so hopefully it doesn't start raining on me. Really looking forward to seeing all of your awesome projects. Can't wait to see all the creativity coming out of this. All right, so as you can see, I'm kind of finishing up the first layer here. I really do need to wait and touch up my center because I made a little bit of an oopsie. But something I kind of like to do, depending on the stone, I do like to sometimes leave space on the outside to do some fun like lines. So I think I'm really feeling that with this stone. So sometimes it just makes it look like little fireworks. So I'm going to just do some lines. But do whatever you want. This is just me playing around. You can do whatever you want. And the sun's coming out a little bit, so fingers crossed we have a beautiful weekend, guys. I think we all need that. I think we all need to go outside. Alright, I'm really liking how this is looking. It's really, really fun and colorful. Yeah, feeling really good about this project so far. I think I'm going to just do a little bit more. I'm just really feeling the yellow today. Maybe it's because I want the sun to come out. So I might just do like 2 big dots here. Close out this row with the yellow. Also kind of looks like neon a little bit. All the bright colors on the black background. It's just funky. Very funky. Okay, so I've filled out my rock pretty well. I'm feeling good about it. I might see if I can try to get some of this paint off the middle. Just clean that up a little bit to show you guys how I do some disaster management. It happens. I tried a little bit in the middle now, so I think it's looking better. Just trying to clean it up some. But yeah, I mean, this is a part of being an artist is, you know, making mistakes, and you gotta go with the flow, you know? I mean, it happens. It can be frustrating. I'm not gonna say I'm like, great, made that giant mistake, you know? I'm doing a live video in front of hundreds of people and I made a big oopsie, but, you know, it happens. It's all good. It's all good. And that's looking a lot better already. So I'm just kind of scooping off the extra paint here, and now that I've cleaned this up a little bit, I am gonna, just to show you some damage management, I am gonna squirt out some black paint and show you guys how I'd fix that. So I'm gonna turn that towards you so you can see the center is definitely looking a little bit better now. And hopefully I have black paint down here, and I do. You don't need a lot to fix it. It's going to be a pretty easy fix, I think, now that it's dried some. Oops. And you gotta be careful too if you paint your edges, because I always will like put my fingers on it and then I'll get smudges everywhere. And but the good thing is with acrylic paint is if you do get smudges on the outside, if you like accidentally touch it and then you touch part of the rock, really, if you do it really quickly with paper towel and water and just like wipe it off, you're gonna be good and you can fix it. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna do some damage control. I'm just going over where I had that big, I just put too much paint on. I was so excited to hang out with you guys. I just put way too much paint on. I was like, let's go. So I'm just kind of going over it here, touching it up. Already looking so much better. I got a little bit too much pink paint on there too, so I'm trying to negate that. And it's going away. There we go. It's looking better. And this is just sometimes part of the process as we go back and we adjust. And now that I've done that, I actually want to go back and make my other pink dots a little bit bigger, that I've cleaned that one up. So make it look a little bit more symmetrical. Sometimes you just gotta be a little gentle. You don't need a lot of paint. Sometimes it's just moving around the paint that's already on there. Boop. All right, I'm gonna wrap up here because I know I'm definitely, oops, spending way more time on this than I should be. But it's fun. I got some water in my brush, so I had some water kind of goop onto that dot there, but. So again, I will probably let this dry, and I'm gonna go back and add more details later once it's dry. But I'm pretty satisfied with how much I was able to get done, you know, in one sitting today. I feel pretty good about that. Usually, I can do a painted rock in an hour. I need like 1 hour of time. It's a little bit harder because I'm trying to talk about what I'm doing today. But usually I can do it in an hour. All right. Hope you all have had fun. I definitely had fun. I'll kind of show where we left off. So feeling pretty good about that. It's looking nice. All right, well, I hope you all have a great Friday. I had a really fun time today hanging out with you all. Again, my name is Marissa. I'm for Girl Scouts of Western Ohio out of the Cincinnati office in our Program and Partnerships Department. Today, we worked on the Junior Outdoor Art Explorer badge. We completed steps 1 and 2, so I talked to you about my art, which is inspired by nature, and then we designed with nature. So we did a really fun painted stone. I will finish this later, and I'm going to comment in the photo maybe next week. So go back and look at this event, and I'll share what I created with you all. And I encourage you to finish steps 2, 3, and 4 on your own. So make something, again, wearable, or with wood or, stones. Find music in nature and be a nature photographer. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you all get a second, and yeah, play around with art, play around, and signing off. Peace out, Girl Scout.